We all have different experiences in relationships, but the common ground is that they hurt us and changed us. Unfortunately, they sometimes leave us fearful and less confident about the success of our next relationship. How can you let go of past relationships and the trauma they carry? In this video, I will give you 2 reasons you cannot let go of your past relationship and 3 ways to work on letting go. Reason 1: you cannot forget your mistakes. With time, you might realize that it is easier to shrug shoulders and say, "That was the best they could be, and that's why they hurt me," than to admit the mistake was shared equally between you two. Again, it is easier to explain someone else's behavior than your own. You are more willing to forgive and forget someone else's wrong actions against you than your self-betrayal. You might often find yourself lying in your bed and contemplating a small situation that you could have avoided, maybe the whole relationship. My last relationship, the one I had before I met my husband, was with a guy who broke my heart, abused me mentally, and got me to the lowest point of my life so far. And do you know what I kept recalling every few months? The first time I saw him. The moment I laid my eyes on him, I had that gut feeling that he was nothing more but trouble and I should stay as far away from him as possible. Later on, I kept remembering that moment and often would find myself shouting in my head, "Just listen to your guts! Just listen to your guts!" But it was all gone, and I didn't listen to my guts. Reason 2: you overlooked the red flags. And once you catch yourself remembering moments and recalling situations, you realize that the red flags were there all along, but you chose to ignore them. Maybe they said or did something that made you suspicious of their true intentions, but you just kept quiet. Probably someone else told you that you shouldn't count on that relationship to last forever. It's possible that a friend or your sister hinted that you aren't with your perfect match regardless of how you feel. And you ignored all those people, all of the feelings, all of the red flags. Now, contemplating on them for months in a row, you got to the point where those red flags are like neon signs on the motorway. How could you not see them? Now let's go over 3 ways you can work on letting go of your past relationship. Through therapy. If you've been through a lot with your ex-partner, it is okay to ask for professional help. Gone are the days when therapy was only for those who needed medications and had severe mental struggles. I went through a few therapy sessions after the end of one of my previous relationships, and it helped me see things from a different perspective. But most of all, I benefited from the fact that I had someone with a degree tell me I did my best. You can laugh at this here, but when people who love me pity me, it hurts. I needed a non-biased opinion that I wasn't the villain in my story, and my story had no villain at all. In fact, your story has no villain either. You were just 2 people doing their best to build something with the wrong person. Through conversations. Just as with therapy, straightforward conversations with a friend or a close person will always help you bring the trauma out of your chest and work with it. Often, all we miss to let go entirely is to be listened to while we share our version of that relationship. Ask a trusted friend to help you, and choose a day and location that feels emotionally safe for you. Then talk and say it all. Take it off your chest and let it go. Once you name the pain, it gets easier to work with it and eventually, fully heal. Through journaling. Putting pen to paper and letting your feelings flow from your heart to the journal page is one of the healthiest ways to let go. Actually, if you are going to therapy, your therapist may recommend journaling too. You can write your thoughts, emotions, regrets, hopes, and deepest feelings in a journal, and it would feel like telling a friend about it. The one thing to never do is nothing. Doing nothing to let go of the trauma is still doing something, and that something is staying in pain, keeping the self-blame alive, accusing every other partner of things they didn't do, and eventually bringing yourself to the bottom of your misery. Also, keep in mind that just because you don't feel like dealing with a trauma doesn't mean the trauma doesn't deal with you.